All right, so this one here is dry enough to try to do another thing. So I painted this one red, and what I'm going to do is, so I put down forgiving and athletic, and here's joyful, and I'm going to put this back down, and the red will fill in here, and there'll be red everywhere, but you should be able to see some other things. And then because this is blocking out, then this color here, but let's see how it works. And I'm not doing it very scientific like, so I'm just kind of, I'm going to just kind of. Oh yeah, so it is sticking to the paper, and maybe it wasn't dry enough. All right, so I won't be so, all right, this messed up. All right, that's okay. Okay, so normally I would possibly just cut that mistake right out of this video, but I think there's still some learning that we can do in here. And you can see right here where the joyful showed up as in red, and then here's the athletic, and the athletic was the green that was in the background. All right, so I didn't allow this to dry enough, and so the paint actually stuck, and it's pulling off of this paper. And this is the handmade paper. And so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do this over again, or the concept over again. So right now I'm still letting this kind of dry a little bit more, but this one is the very first one that we did, and this one feels really dry. So I'm gonna put some paint down here. I'm gonna put white paint, and then I'm gonna put our. So because I'm using acrylics, okay, my today words were, let's see here, creative. So because we're using acrylics, they do have a tendency to dry faster, and then, you know, and all right, and let's see here, creative, it's insightful, all right, insightful, and what's it, forgiving, athletic, and joyful, and confident. All right, so here we go. All right, so I've got those words, and now I'm going to put this down. I'm hoping this doesn't. I'm hoping that it holds up. Okay. Now I remember to put them down upside down so that the words are going to be printed right side. Okay. So, and it could have been also that the red paint was also maybe just too thick. Anyway, so we'll just keep on. You're getting the idea, to be able to explore and make your own art from your words. But this is just getting us started. Okay. And let's see here. There we go. All right. So again, I can go, let's see here, I'm going to pull these up, pull this up, and I'm going to be able to do, oh, the other thing was that while I put you on break there, I also cleaned up everything after that red mess up. So you can kind of see some of these, actually the red stained the stencils, which is no big deal. I mean, it's again, it's not hurting anything at all. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a ghost print on here, and because it's white, it really shouldn't have too much of a. Shouldn't show. It won't show up that much, but let's see what we got. Okay. All right. So you can kind of see it a little bit. On the camera, you may not be able to see it at all, but I can see confident inside. Okay, so I'll let that dry. All right, now. All right, this is still a little wet. And okay, I'm gonna keep on going. So let's, I'm gonna use a different, but a little different red. Okay, and we'll do a little bit of yellow. Alright, and the paints with these caps on them are really annoying because you just can't get without dolloping a huge amount of paint on here. It's just really, really challenging. Okay. So, alright, so we're going to do a red one. And I'm going to do, and confidence. Alright, so I'm putting down the same ones. They have white on them, but that's fine. Okay. And then we're going to, I think since this one's like already dry, so we'll just do this. And some of your paints are going to be opaque, which means you can't really see through it. And some of it's going to be translucent, which means you can see through it. So having the combination of those is also going to change the dynamics of how the paints turn out. Right. And let's see. I'm gonna do a little ghost print here. Do. Alright, I can kind of see those words in the background. Oh, see, there you go. Alright. Alright. So this is pretty wet. Okay. So I'm going to. Now another thing to do is you can also kind of let this dry a little bit. It does get drier every time you just pull a print off of it. So I'm going to wash my sprayer here, the roller. Now you see how it's not mixing? It's because the paint below is drier. And then, okay. Alright, let me see. You know what, I'm gonna just pull the parts off of here, see what we can do. Anything loose on this one, I'm just pulling off. Alright. See how this works. Okay. So I'm just using this piece. You're gonna just keep on going. Alright. Okay. That didn't really show up anything. Alright. Okay. That paper probably didn't have enough to absorb, didn't have anything left to absorb anything. There we go. Alright, again, let me see, I might go too fast. Here we go. Alright, let's just change the color again. So this is what's annoying here, is that this is really hard to put down a reasonable amount of paint and not have it too gloopy. Alright, now I'm going to put our tomorrow words. Okay, let's see here. Athletic, forgiving, and joyful. There we go. Okay. All right. That's kind of still wet. Is this one dry yet? Oh shoot. And then let's see, how's this one? Alright. So these are still a little damp. Let me get one. Okay, so now let's try this. I'm gonna put this on top here. Get the ghost print on this one. Alright, that one's very nice. So you so it says insightful, confident, and but now it says joyful, forgiving, and athletic. And I really like that one a lot. So this is going to be one of our this will be one of our portfolio pieces. And okay, so let me let these dry here. These two here dry. They're still kind of wet, and I'm actually going to put a little blow dryer on them, and then we're gonna I should be able to do these, and then I think we'll call this a class. All right, let me put you on pause. Okay, so I have given this plenty of time to dry here, and so these were have dried. All right. So since all of these are in the family of blue, I think I'm gonna do something in the family of red, or maybe yellow. Nah, I think red. All right, so let's try red. Maybe red and yellow. All right, so I'm just gonna put some color down here. So all of these, well, these two here are my words for today words. The last one over there is tomorrow's words, but you're gonna understand what it is that I'm doing. We kind of had a good example right here where we had insightful, confident, and creative is down here in this white, and then we have joyful and forgiving and athletic above it. So this is the idea, is that we are exploring the words that that we want to describe us, and by acknowledging these words, then we're just one step closer to having them be part of our life, and actively using these assets or these skills that we have, or we want to include them. So when you're trying to think of words, you know, one of the things that you want to think of is ending the sentence with I am. So I am will get you some words that kind of really describe you today. And then when you're looking at words that you would like to describe you tomorrow, then, you know, I mean, also think about things that, like maybe some strengths that you have, or maybe some strengths that you would like to have. And that's where you're going to be able to explore, like, what it is that you're going to be able to start thinking about directions that you want to go in. And for myself, I have my my words that I want to have tomorrow is joyful and forgiving and athletic. I'm not athletic right now. I'm working on that, so it's an all the time thing that I try to work on. And then the forgiving and joyful is just something that these are things that I won't say that I am not joyful or forgiving. It's just there are things that take a little bit extra. You know, you have to kind of like, okay, be cognitive if this is going to be something that you're going to bring into your life. So joyful, forgiving, and then athletic. And I just put that down there. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see, let's try this one first. So confident, creative, and insightful is what's on this print right now. So remember, we had the green, it was the first print and didn't have any words at all. Then we did a white, and that was, and then we had the creative and confident. And now what we're going to do is, so these are today's words, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put tomorrow's words on there. So again, I'm going to just kind of place this, get it close to you, and then I'm just going to make sure that I'm pushing down and getting all of the details inside. And because the paper is, it's handmade paper, but then because it is also nice and dry, it should not stick like that other thing that the catastrophe that we had. But actually, you know, nothing's actually really a catastrophe. I can see that print over here, and it's actually kind of very interesting. You can't see the words in it, but it's still a very interesting piece of paper, and it could always be used for another type of printing or another type of project. So in general, I mean, I just kind of save everything, and then I have a stack of papers that I just call backgrounds, and they could become, oh, see, this is very nice. Okay. All right, so this is a very nice piece here. So I can see the confident, I can see the joyful here. All right, and so you can see each one of the words behind it, and then see the new words. So let's try another one. Okay, so that one turned out really nicely, and that will be in our portfolio. And what I mean by that is just, it'll be something that I make a print for you guys, so that you can, in the scheme of things, that'll be something that we have. All right, so let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this ghost print, and this is, we'll just kind of clean this off. A good way to clean this off is to just pull a ghost print. So another way, so this is really nice too. And actually, this is the piece of paper that got pulled apart, and but you can see it's joyful. You know, it has some nice nice words in it too. All right. So one of the things about the Gelli printing is it says the best way to clean them is to use baby wipes. So the red that I used that didn't work was this one here, and I think it's just too wet. So it was this one here. It was just too wet. So these are, these just have probably just a little bit thicker. so we have another one here. Confident, creative, and insightful. This one here. And so I'm going to put down the words forgiving and joyful, and athletic. There we go. All right, and let's go put this on there. See how this turns out. Okay. I actually came up with another idea for this same premise of exploring words and using fabric. So I think I'll be making another class for the idea of using words that we use to describe ourselves. Okay. All right. Excellent. All right, what do you think, guys? Okay. So we got forgiving, joyful, and athletic. And yeah. So these are like really fun pieces. All right, so let me do, I have one more here, and this was joyful, forgiving, and athletic. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the reverse on this one, but we have two that are right here. Oh, there you go. All right, so let's try one more. All right. So this is like when I use the Gelli print. I think I'll just go ahead and put this. When I use the Gelli print for myself, what I usually do is I kind of use it a lot for. Let me put a little bit more yellow in here. I kind of use it a lot for doing backgrounds, and what I mean by that is like I'll do a bunch of different designs using stencils, and then print it on fabrics, and then that will become parts of different quilts or things like that. So once you know how to do this, you can, all right, so just remember backwards. So I'm gonna do confident, insightful, let's do creative. And I kind of like just kind of, don't worry about getting it straight across and kind of haphazard. It looks kind of nice that way. All right, so let's get this on here. See what we can pull up. And okay, what was I talking about? All right. So I'll do this kind of thing. I'll do a whole, rip a bunch of fabric into squares, and I'll just use a bunch of stencils, and I'll just print on it and get lots and lots of different handmade fabrics this way. And then I can use those in my quilts and different projects. And you can also, this could also be a way to make journal pages or scrapbooking and stuff like that. So, and with some practice, this could be, this actually could be a true way that you're expressing yourself artistically. I mean, these pieces definitely, they have the possibility of being framed. They're very bright and colorful, and I like how the words, they're kind of there. But really, you're the one who really truly knows what's being said in these. Okay, so we've got, we have, out of all that, we have 4 pieces that I think are really successful. This is the piece that was not, it still could be used for something, but it doesn't get my point across. it just doesn't, the words are just a little bit lost, but this is the one that the stencil actually got stuck on. And then we had some ghost prints, and it's still nice because you can see the words in there. Let's see here. Here's a, I was just kind of putting stuff on there and got stuck. So there's some, you know, not so successful pieces, just kind of ghost prints too. But then you remember this one, it's kind of fun. So these pieces here could be turned into scrapbooking pages. You know, they have potential, but my idea was to show you, like, you're making these, but in the process you could have some other pieces that are in there. Okay, so let me just show you one thing real quick, and then we'll end this class. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up. I'm just going to pull these up, and I want to show you a couple of things. Let me put a little bit of yellow down. These are texture pieces here, and these are, you can buy these in the craft store, and they're just pieces that have a, I'm not sure if you can see that, has a little texture in it. And so you can go like this, push that down, and get yourself some other kinds of texture. And so you can create other types of, let's just make a border. I'll just do this border. You can do this and make yourself, make these little textures. So you can use this to make some designs on here. You can use the edge of something. Now you have to be careful. You can use the edge of something so that, you know, you can actually draw in here. And I say you have to be careful because you don't want to scratch your jelly board. All right, so we got something like that. And then let's put the word joyful in there, okay? And so we'll put joyful in here, and then let's print this out. And okay, so let's see what we got. All right. So here's our joyful, and because I use textured paper, the outside, those little swirly things didn't really show up very well, but that's okay. Now I can take this. All right, I got the white here. Now because this is rigid, we should be able to print on it. Remember, these were a little too, you know, they would stick, but this is rigid. And rigid just means that it's hard. It's not bending as much as your other pieces. Okay, so I'm just gonna go thick like that, and then you can actually print. So you can explore the idea of doing some direct printing on these. So, all right. I'll let this one dry, and I might go in here with a little bit of ink or do something else. All right, I hope you enjoyed the class. Hi everybody. I hope you enjoy the class, and join me for another exploration of something in life skills.